Welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. Today, I have something special for you. Pour yourself a warm cup of tea, get nice and cozy because it's story time. So way back in the day, not that long ago, I was really into long distance hiking. I've done more than 1 million kilometers around the world. Whoo! Pat myself on the back for that one. Part of my journey took me to the Bruce Trail, which isn't very far from here. I'm pointing behind me because it's literally in that direction. And the trail is broken up into 9 different sections. Each section is taken care of by a different chapter, and each chapter runs a series of events throughout the year. The second to last leg had just about 90 kilometers left. It was going to take about 2 days to complete it. I was up in the most northern section in the Bruce Peninsula area of Ontario, Canada. And well, one thing led to another, and I ended up doing these last 2 sections with a group. And the group was a mix of very experienced hikers and somewhat, I would say, intermediary hikers. Like, we're hiking along, and it's the most difficult terrain of the entire trail, I would say. We're talking huge rocks and boulders on either side, moss, mixed rock. There's never a flat step. You're either stepping up on rocks, you're walking over crevasses, you're worried about tree limbs. It was the most challenging hike I've ever done. Also, beautiful scenery everywhere, but unfortunately you don't get to see most of it because the terrain is so difficult. Your feet are focused, and your eyes are focused down looking at the terrain so you don't trip and die falling off of a cliff or into a crevasse or something. Anyways, in this section we were in, there's a boulder on one side, a boulder on the other, and we're going through this narrow section that also is taking us up onto the top of this cliff line. And it's absolutely spectacular from below, and we're looking up the cliff, and it's these white limestone cliffs and this turquoise water. It's surreal, the colors there. We're going up, and we're going from like an open wetland area. So we have a nice breeze into a much more dense forested area. So it becomes a lot more buggy. So the woman in front of me stops dead in her tracks, and our feet are one in front of the other. You're locked into position. You're just very carefully stepping across these rocks up this cliff. And she stops dead in her tracks, pulls out her bug spray and goes to spray herself in the face, but she must have missed herself entirely, and it goes right over her shoulder, and I'm right behind her. I get this full inhale, have bug spray in my face, and it was absolutely disgusting. So my immediate reaction was to turn and to try and cough and breathe in some non-bug spray air, but my feet were locked in place, my hips were locked into place, and I turned, and all I heard was 2 snaps. And I had no idea what that was. So I continued on. It's becoming more and more difficult. My feet are becoming more and more sore as the kilometers are going on. And we're doing 50 kilometers in a day. Keep that in mind. And this is not too much past maybe 10 kilometers in the day. So it's a significant amount of trail still left until we were able to get back to our cars at the end of that day's trek. So I remember we stopped for lunch. Yeah, we must have stopped for lunch at the top of the cliff that we had climbed, and I'm sitting on this moss covered boulder, and everyone's laughing and joking around, and I'm just a little bit extra concerned about my feet. And I always know to bring extra socks, to bring a kit to take care of my feet. So I have like baby powder and Band-Aids and moleskins and extra socks and extra socks and even more extra socks and sock liners and all of this wonderful stuff that you need to take care of your feet. So I'm, eating my lunch, taking care of my feet, taking a rest, stretching out, and my muscles are just starting to feel weird. So as I'm continuing to hike on, it got worse and worse and worse, and my muscles were cramping, and now I'm getting shooting pain, and now I'm getting like a pain that feels like acid burning down my legs, out of my back, down my legs. And I honestly thought I was going to die. I had no idea what was going on, but I felt like I wanted to die. So the group that I was with, they were fantastic, and we split up all of the weight that was in my pack, which thankfully wasn't much. And I had 2 hiking sticks, so I used those, and I was able to hobble my way slowly but carefully. It was about 40 kilometers to the end of where I could stop at the edge of the forest. There was another 5 kilometers to go on road until we got to the parking lot. So thankfully, once we were able to make it that 40 kilometers, which was again the kind of terrain that I explained earlier, plus we're going up and down bridges, and we're going up and down ladders, like wooden ladders, for like 2 stories at a time. It was the most painful and terrifying time of my life. Then we get to the forest edge. I sit down at the edge of the forest, road in front of me, like a turnaround area in front of me, a clear strip of road, so there's no trees in the way, and then there's water in front of me, which would be Georgian Bay. Well, just my luck, this day was the day that there was tornado warnings, literally tornado warnings in Georgian Bay. And I look up at the sky, and I'm in pain. I'm terrified about what this pain is where this pain is coming from. And now I'm looking up at the sky, and I'm seeing distinct strips of sky. In one direction, it's going white, and the next direction, black, white, black, white. You can see these distinct lines of sky moving in these different directions. I'm like, oh my God, as I'm watching the rest of my group hike away from me to the cars. They got in their cars and came back and got me. I opened the car door. The second I get into the car door, crack of lightning, and the sky just opens and the water just pours. Yeah, that was fun. So I was staying at an Airbnb. Thankfully, my mom came up with me, and she was staying up there just to enjoy some time at like this cottage-like little place that we got. And then I'd hike for the day and come back and see her in the evening. And I come down, they had dropped me off outside of the house, and I had to walk down the gravel driveway, and I couldn't put my shoes back on. The water is just pouring down out of the sky. The driveway is just like a river flowing down, and I have to walk down to the walk-in basement. And I'm like hobbling, and my feet are like curled up because they're in pain, and they're just covered in blisters because I've been walking awkwardly this whole time. So I'm walking on soft spots on my feet. It was just destroyed. I was destroyed. So I finally got home. We got home. I ended up going to see my chiropractor, got x-rays and all that kind of stuff. And it turns out that I kind of broke my back. Go back in time a little bit earlier. When you're about 14 or 15 years old, the lower 5 vertebrae in your back fuse together and create what's called your sacrum. Well, in my case, what happened was my lower 4 vertebrae fused together, and the 5th one, it has like these little arms that kind of
had little fingers that were like, hey, I want to hang out. I want to be with you guys in this like conjoined sacrum thing. I want to be part of the party. And so they were slightly attached, but not really. And it was that strong twisting motion when I was hiking that managed to snap those very tiny connections. So I broke my back, but I didn't need back surgery for anything. Yeah, so I think I'm going to cut this episode here. I'm going to record the rest of my story because I had a completely different video I wanted to record for you about this, but I'm going to record a part 2 that you'll get to see next week. All right, that's it for this episode, everyone. Remember, I love you, and be excellent to each other. Mwah.